Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, seeing what's been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Okay, let's take a look. So we've had a couple of recent developments here. We are of course moving on up here a little bit more than we were expecting to. So yesterday we were talking about 31,460 being the top. You can see we hit this area, we got rejected from it, then we broke up, we've come back down, tested it as support, and we're now in this kind of triangular shaped pattern just here like we were in this little area here. Now ultimately this actually looks like a really interesting move, so let me actually just go ahead and delete some of this stuff so we can actually see this. I think this is potentially coming up towards a top. I'm going to show you what I think is going on here. Okay, so I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit. We have got a higher target on the 1-to-1 ratio of our macro. This is basically that low point that we had down here at $26,000, and basically the A, the B coming down here, and then the C going up to about 33,024. We might overextend that a little bit, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so I think what we've got going on in here is actually a really clear third wave move, and then I think we're having a fourth wave, and then we're going to have a fifth wave. Okay, so what we've got, if I all the way from the bottom here, we have 1, we have 2, an overextended 3, we come back down for 4, we then go up into our fifth. Now it looks like this might actually be our low point, which means our fourth wave is actually quite shallow, and it would be pretty much aligned to being the alternated pattern between our second wave being deep and our fourth wave being shallow, and our wave 2 was more complex than wave 4. Okay, I could be wrong, of course, and we could actually be getting a much more, I guess, a higher extended wave 3, but I think it's unlikely, but we'll keep an eye on that anyway. And if we go ahead and just measure the top of this down to the bottom that we had, we can get an idea that this is actually going to be taking us right up into 32,400 to 32,700. But because we had an overextended wave 3, it is possible that we actually end up with an exact 1-to-1 ratio with wave 1, and that would actually take us just above our 33,024 target. So ultimately everything's looking pretty good from that perspective, and we should be thinking just up here is likely to be the point of reversal. As I said, it is possible that wave 3 actually comes up here. We get rejected for wave 3, we come down, then we get a wave 5 going a little bit higher. But essentially, it's less and less likely based on the momentum behind the price, which I'll go into now. I'll leave it like this. Let's be conservative to start with, and we'll adjust if we need to at a later date. But if we bring up the stochastic RSI, you can see that we're getting ready for this next move up. So that's pretty obvious there. The 4-hour though is overbought. The 8-hour is overbought. The daily is overbought. So again, we should be very much aware that we are likely to pull back down in a pretty significant way once we have these tops in, and our target hasn't really changed. Based on that being the high point, we should be looking at 22,900. Okay, so if I do grab hold of our Fibonacci retracement tool, we'd run this all the way up there, and again, the higher this goes, the lower we go later. Here you can see the most typical area is still this yellow box area just here. Okay, and so this hasn't really changed. You can see it's 23,400 and 25,300. That's the area of the most common retracement for that fifth wave, but it is possible that we go down a little bit lower, and again it's subject to where we actually end up. If that goes up higher, then our target also drops down towards our macro 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so we should be cautious. This is not the time to be FOMOing in. I know we can see a lot of retail investors FOMOing in here right now, but that's definitely not the wisest decision. Now if I actually remove the stochastic and throw the volume in here, you can see here that there's pockets of volume, right, coming in, driving this home and driving it up. But however, there isn't really any kind of real major volume outside of these pockets, right? So you can see that there's chosen individuals that might be pushing the price to the upside, these two pieces of volume here. Otherwise, the volume is actually decreasing, which means we are running out of momentum. Okay, so we should be very much aware that on these larger time frames, so we come here, you can see that we had a couple big pockets of volume coming in just to drive that price up. However, we haven't really seen any decent volume afterwards. Basically, this is telling me that it's more likely that the the whales are pushing the price up to liquidate some of the leverage positions that were short in the market, because ultimately it comes down to quite simple basics, right? Everyone's talking about the price moving down, at least across the social medias, then essentially that's going to create a lot of short positions, right? If the price is going to go down, short the position, and you're going to be absolutely rolling in the dough, right? But essentially that's not really how this stuff works. These narratives are put out there so that people do short the market. The whales will then play their games and move the price up, and then basically you get liquidated in the transfer of wealth from the individuals who shorted the market over to the whales occur. So this is why we don't talk about leverage, why we don't use leverage, because essentially it is high risk and you have to be on the right side of it. You have to kind of wait for the whales to have already mopped up their pocket of liquidity and the price to pull back down. So the price moving up here is only about, in my opinion, liquidating anyone who is shorting. You're going to notice that a load of long positions are going to be opening up, and then obviously as those long positions open up, you're right, the price will go down. So we've got to be prepared for these things, and retail investors are just being used as a way to basically transfer wealth to the wealthy. And so we should be aware that the volumes are very much just enough to push the price in the right direction, and there's actually very little activity going on here, other than the fact that you're seeing selling activity going on pretty much after the price pushes up a little bit here, but the sentiment is not to buy. So there are some retail investors that are getting a bit shaken out by this. So do be aware of how these things work. But nonetheless, we can take a look at the stochastic. You can see that we're almost completely oversold. So we should be coming out of this little area here soon, and we should be moving on up today. And then I think once we have that, we're going to have that rug pulled eventually. And we are going to be coming down here. The only way that this fourth wave is invalidated is if we move up higher than this level here, which would put us at $38,500. Okay, so if we were to go up past $38,500, that's the only way that this fifth wave down here does not come in. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I'm not going to go on any more, but if you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.